This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/awesomecast.
I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said now. I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said.
Nightmares, I don't care, I love it.
It's time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. Here from the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, PA. Checking my levels 1212. Very excited, and as we talked about on the Patreon, the all-new, all-different AwesomeCast tonight, because the rest of our usual co-hosts are stuck on a living island in the middle of the Pacific. But anyways, we do have some awesome with us tonight. First of all, representing the iPhoneography podcast and also a frequent contributor over on the Wrestling Mayhem show, Dave Podnar is joining us this week. How you doing, sir?
Doing good, Sorg. So we're basically stuck in a Days of Our Lives thing where we are the replacement people who have taken over once aliens took them away.
Wait, was that a thing? Are we talking about the Bo thing when they replaced him and it was an evil twin and plastic surgery or something like that? But somehow he had the same hair.
Yeah, pretty much same thing. Yeah.
Stefano! Also with us, representing Rizz Plays Games and also a regular on the Wrestling Mayhem show, he is the Rizz.
Hi, Sorg. It's been a while since I've been on the show.
Yes.
Like, I forget how this show works. There's a
the organization.
There's a format to it.
Yeah.
There's just so much different about this.
Listen, just because at 9 p.m. we become agents of live streaming and podcasting chaos, that doesn't mean we don't start with a uniformed. We get the nice uniform show out of the way, and then we just go ballistic at 9 p.m. Pretending to talk about professional wrestling, which seems appropriate. But no, thank you for joining us. As you can imagine, we're probably going to talk about iPhone things and video game things tonight with this crew. But in the meantime, please go check out the show at awesomeclass.com. Of course, you guys being here, I almost said the Wrestling Mayhem show
almost said good times.
I almost started with the email address.
There was almost some yelling going on.
Yeah.
There.
So if there's any weird things that we laugh at that you as regular only AwesomeCast listeners don't get, sorry about that. This is a crossover. This is that annoying comic book crossover where it says, hope you watched the other show last week so you get what's happening now. No, we're going to try not to do that too much. Anyways, no, you can go to awesomecast.com. You can go to awesomecast at sorgatronmedia.com for any comments or any of the private comments if you really want to tell me what you think about Rizz being on the show this week, or any advertising opportunities that we may have coming up here, or tweet us at AwesomeCast. Follow the AwesomeCast Facebook page and group. A lot of great discussions happening and stories being shared over on the group. But sometimes we help each other out with some technical things. And also, we are live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern on the AwesomeCast Facebook page, on the AwesomeCast YouTube page, which also has a lot of great clips from the show if you want to check out just some very specific things and tips and things of that nature on there. And we're also streaming on the Sorgatron Media Twitch page if you are a Twitcher and would like to Twitch with us.
Hi.
Hey. No, but anyways,
what I do,
just like Rizz Plays Games, and also please, of course, we are a podcast first and foremost. So please subscribe to us on your favorite podcast platform. Please rate and review us wherever that is appropriate, especially on that Apple Podcast. Is very important to help get in front of more people if we got some interaction going on over there. And thank you to our audio partners, our friends at the 405media.com and postindustrial.com that have been sharing the good word of the AwesomeCast for a good while now. We have our friends at the patreon.com/awesomecast. Give them a shout out because they are supporting this show and helping us keep moving forward. Our friends at the Coffee Club level, Matt Weller, John DeGore, John Carmen, Cynthia Klosky, and new Patreon supporter as of last week. I think he got in just under the wire before the show, and I missed him doing the notes last week. But Scott McTaggart of the Pitchworks podcast
I know that guy.
Highly recommended. Yeah, you do know you do know
I
them
knew that guy.
for a non-podcasting reason. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But thank you so much supporting the show there, and of course at the fan of the show level, Michael Fedor, pghmuseums.org, our friend Professor Buzzkill and his fine podcast. I just saw another episode pop up on my feed yesterday, and hey, Dave Podnar. Thanks,
Hey,
Dave. Thanks
you.
Hey, Pod Prof Pod. At Prop on the Twitter. I don't say your Twitter enough.
No, it's okay.
You've asked me about that like 2 months ago, and I still haven't been good at it. So, but no, you guys can support the show too at patreon.com/awesomecast. Thank you so many that are supporting the show. It shows that people are digging what we're doing. And I'm hoping we figured this out after 530 some odd episodes. So let's get into our awesome things of the week, guys. And unfortunately, I'm on a slower computer because my good one is in the shop. So you'll have to bear with me for a moment. Potter, what is your awesome thing of the week?
Okay, my awesome thing. It's something I've actually had for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually a Christmas gift, and it's something Bruce surprised me with. It's a giant crystal ball, and it is photography related.
Okay.
So. Well, I shouldn't say. It depends, giant. It is a very nice. I'm kind of shining it up here. If you're a wrestling fan, insert joke about shining things up.
Yeah. I was trying to keep it to myself, but yeah, no, absolutely.
So now I use this with my iPhone, but you can use it with regular cameras too.
Mm-hmm.
And these things are, I don't want to say common, but they are nice to use.
So it's a nice crystal ball, and you're holding it like, just there in between your
let me try to get the
forefinger and thumb there. Oh, I see how it's moving things upside down. Okay.
Yeah. So
That's
it's
cool.
easy enough within any kind of once you take the picture, you can just go into a regular editing app, and it does come with a nice base.
Yeah. Nice.
So if you want to like put this down to get some nice shots,
it just I'm trying to just for audio saying size wise, but I say it would if it looks like it would fit nicely in my Starbucks cup.
yes,
Yeah.
It's for those who know metric, it's 65. 65, 6.5 centimeters, 65 millimeters.
Metric.
For those who know metric, yes. And this thing is heavy. This thing could be used as a weapon if you get it caustic, because this is solid glass.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea is that if you wanted to have a little bit different of a look when you're taking a photo, is that you would take the photo through the ball, and it kind of gives it a little bit of a fisheye lens look to it. And like I said, it does, of course, because it is basically a lens, it flips everything upside down. But every editing software out there, it's easy just to flip it around or do a little tweaking just to make it maybe a little clearer, because you do get some distortion, obviously, since it's a sphere. But it does this a nice little extra creative touch to your photography. And the nice thing about, and this one's nice because it also comes with a little travel bag, and it's not so big that it could fit in.
It's kind of like a dice bag almost.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, around that same size. So it's especially since we're getting near warmer months, and shorts pockets tend to be a little bit bigger than jean pockets, are a little bit easier to fit stuff in.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't that hard to actually kind of shove that into a pants pocket and walk around with it, and get a little bit of a different look. Not that different look there, but a little bit of a different look when you're trying to take a photo.
That's a cat running through.
Cat walkthroughs, yes. But it gives you a nice little different look, and then, like I said, the nice thing is it gives you, a little bit extra creativity without having to attach anything to the phone, which can be a bit of a pain. Mm-hmm. There are some external lenses, but a lot of times they're a pain to deal with in terms of lining it up quite right or doing other things around here. So it makes it nice. I have to use it a few times. It does give it a little bit of semi-magnification because of the curve on it. So it makes it, again, just something nice to get a little extra creative when you're trying to, there we go. And for the audio people, Sorg put the link in it. And you can, like I said, and the nice thing is you don't have to zoom in too much. You can actually leave it there and get the reflection there. And it's, again, just something to give you a nice little extra creative touch to doing photos that's more than just doing a simple snapshot.
I see it's only $12.99. It's the JIHUI
I don't know how it's pronounced.
Photograph crystal ball sphere K9
Yes.
glass ball 66 millimeters with pouch
60, yeah.
handstand for photography prop and decorative. So there you go. That's awesome. Yeah, nice $13 quickie thing that you can play with there. Oh, you got me interested in that. I'm thinking about some video things I could do with that, partner. If I want to get creative. Some ideas. Put that next to a wrestling ring. I don't know.
I was gonna say, that looks really cool for like the wrestling aspect of it. Like, just to see the action shots.
Listen, I've been dedicated to this idea that when we come back doing wrestling shows, like our regular, like local partner wrestling shows, like we're going to be stepping some stuff up. Like not necessarily what not necessarily what we do in the live production, because I think we got that mostly. Yeah, I think we got a good idea what we're doing there, but like the extra stuff, right? Like it's like we have this canvas. What more can we do with this? And Dave, I think you might be seeing me playing with a sphere ball around a wrestling ring in the near future.
I could definitely see that. I can definitely see that, giving it a little extra movement. And
I also want to go to a skate park with it. I'm inspired a little bit by Letterkenny, and there was something else I was watching that was doing some skate park stuff. Letterkenny gave me a lot of stylistic ideas. Video wise, not necessarily colloquial, but no, it's this is great. No, a nice little item there. Thanks, Dave. Rizz, I think you dropped something in here. Big news from the video game world, huh?
Big news. And this is actually my awesome thing of the week for you, Sorg. Because I'm kind of partial to PlayStation myself this time around, but this is really big news for people who have the Xbox and stuff like that. Microsoft bought out Bethesda.
Wow! Now I don't know if people know Bethesda necessarily.
I'll shoot out some games here. We got Doom. We got Fallout, Skyrim. What else we got? Because there's a lot more. Dishonored is on there as well.
Rage.
Yeah, all those games are now PlayStation, Microsoft exclusive. So you'll see them on your Xbox as well as PC. Because PC and Microsoft are like that. And they were asked early on about their previous connections with PlayStation as well. So, like the two games that they mentioned were Ghostwire Tokyo, which I've watched a story about that as well, and a trailer about that, and it looks really good. And I haven't heard Deathloop yet. So, but those PS5 exclusive games are still coming to PlayStation. And still exclusive to PlayStation.
Yeah, they're going to honor
nothing.
Good.
Yeah, they're going to honor those commitments as well as honor Elder Scrolls Online, ESO.
It's just wild to me, and remind us of some of the other brands. But you mentioned Doom, id Software. That's something really big in my growing into a PC gamer.
They're also making a Indiana Jones game.
Indiana Jones they got? Wow. But still, and ZeniMax is the parent company, I believe, of Bethesda that they actually purchased that included the rest of it. But Bethesda was obviously the key thing. We're talking about Wolfenstein, Doom,
I forgot
Quake.
Wolfenstein. Yeah.
Right, all that John Carmack stuff. Of course, John Carmack left to go build rockets, I think. But that like Microsoft owns that now.
Yeah.
Commander
that's
Keen. Microsoft owns Commander Keen. All those brands there under that id Software, Quake, things like that. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
One thing I didn't know until reading the story is how many first party studios Microsoft has now.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Like I
It
thought PlayStation was like the king of all. Like Sony had the market on the first parties.
No, Microsoft's been
Microsoft
collecting
is
them.
23
first-party studios. What
out
is it?
of Sony's 13.
And what does Nintendo have? Like 5?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
Nintendo's out there just picking and choosing.
Yeah.
Like different. Nintendo's fine.
Well, I remember
honestly, Nintendo's fine right now.
I remember when Nintendo started announcing studios for like, hey, such and such studio is going to work on Star Fox, and this one's going to work on the new Metroid Prime games in the GameCube era. Like that was a big deal because that didn't happen a lot. You know, almost everything Nintendo said R&D studio and a number. So it'll be interesting to see. Yeah. So no, Microsoft is poised. I this can be a console debate on between you and me, Rizz, but I've not doubted Microsoft's resolve in being the best damn video game platform. You know,
it's close.
I mean, obviously they had missteps at the beginning of this last generation, focusing on entertainment that soured a lot of people, but and the Kinect thing and everything like that. But man, this is a play for Game Pass because you know what you're going to get on there. You're going to get all your Dooms. You're going to get all these. You're going to get Fallout. I mean, these have already been a part of Game Pass for a while, but that is their big play. We're going to get your $15 a month,
Pretty much, yeah.
and which has been beneficial because I was wondering about like, well, what does the you don't have to worry if it's well, you don't have to worry about if it's their own studio. They can just do that, right? They can just decide Gears of War is coming to Game Pass day and date with the release, so pay $60, $70, or start your free month of Game Pass to play this brand new AAA quality game that's ridiculous. And trust me, I just blew through most of the Gears of War series in the last couple of months. That series is phenomenal. No, this is a big crazy play, and I'll be interested to see how it works out.
I think every time we bring up a console war discussion, you bring out that even if you don't have an Xbox, you can still have the Game Pass.
Yes,
which I have, by the way.
What's that?
Which I still don't have, by the way.
You should. You got a good PC game playing thing, right?
I do have good PC game plan.
Listen, man. If I've been trying to figure, I've been trying to scooch some space aside in my MacBook to install Windows and at least a couple of those games because I'm starting to get to that point where I have an original Xbox One and there's like newer Xbox games for Series X that will not install my Xbox anymore, but they will on a PC. So I'm like, well, I guess I need to figure out what I can do that's not a studio appliance here. So, yeah, no, it's been interesting for that. So, my awesome thing. What was my awesome thing again? It was, guys. Do you know Turntable? Do you know Turntable? Dave, do you know? Were you around where we were all hot on Turntable 10 years ago?
I mean, I was around, but I wasn't hot on it, to be honest.
So Turntable FM, Turntable.fm was a website. I don't think it was Flash. It was like early HTML5. And the idea was you'd have this room and you have a little avatar in there, and you would. You could I forget how the process went, but you could become the DJ. You would swap out or pick, hey, it's your turn, pick the next song or something, right? And people would vote on how good they liked the song you chose. So it was like a virtual party room, and there might have been a chat or something. It was free. It was whatever, and it faded away because music rights just killed it, right? It's back. It's back, baby. Yeah, that's right. Turntable.fm is back, not once, but twice. Not only can you go to turntable.fm and check out what's going on there, you can also check out turntable.org. Now, the difference is that the .fm was resurrected by founder Billy Chasen, and the turntable.org is more mobile-focused and created by several alums from turntable.fm. Now, the difference, so here's now you can't get in and do anything with it yet from the looks of things. Last I looked at this.
There's There is a wait list.
Well, and how is that wait list generated, Rizz?
By a password that is sent to you via email.
And what do you have to send to the email?
Your favorite song.
Your favorite song. So you email waitlist at turntable.fm your favorite song, whatever that is, and they'll send you they'll send you a password if that song is cool enough. I'm told.
Wow.
Oh.
All right. I gotta try something here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna tell you the song. I'm just gonna see if I can get in.
All right. I sent an email yesterday, I think, and I still have not received a response. So we'll see. We'll see. Also, I'm sure they're in Lifehacker and stuff, so they're probably getting just murdered on this thing. Now that's the .fm. Now the .org version, I believe over there, .fm was going to be the free one. .org is looking for support right now. Here we go. Let's see, they're launching mobile first turntable for 2021. There's a little example of what that looks like. You can see the turntable. And you like so many people in the room will fill these slots on the turntable. Mm-hmm. There's like 5 slots from what they're showing here, and then that becomes and I love that. I always love this. The chat pops up above your head, like very very Second Life kind of thing. So yeah, they have you can get on the wait list. I think I signed up for that. They're looking for backers. If your artist want to inquire, you can. They have some Kickstarter style levels. Like if you put in so much, you'll get so much % off. If you drop $20, you're gonna get 50% off the subscription whenever that comes out, early access, and other things like that. So it'll be interesting. Here's we're building a new version where you'll be able to directly upload MP3s.
Huh.
So there you go.
So you'll be able to play like your own mixtape.
That's right. I can upload my unfortunate rap album from 2007. I'm sure that'll go. I feel like I did that. I feel like I did pull up some of my own music and see if everybody would notice. Or
I
like
think you did. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember this was like the one of the first times we were doing like a pre-show or pre or post-show for the shows like early on.
Oh, we used to do that.
Yeah, and I remember you checked out to see if some of your music was on there.
Yeah, because I forget what database they reached into for this, right? And I think this one's good. You can one of these is you're going to be able to connect to like your Spotify playlist. I don't have Spotify, but I don't know. Yeah, that's just like the 2010. Before things got so serious and we got mad at everybody on the internet. That was. I feel like that was peak. That was like peak good times, right? Because you had sites like this, and you're starting to get the evolution of people starting to come up with new things on apps.
That was only 10 years ago?
That was only 10 years ago. I can't believe that was 10 years ago. It feels like it wasn't that long. I thought you'd tell me it was 5 years ago, but yeah, that was definitely a big thing that we were into. So, oh boy, turntable. We're gonna start.
We got to do that again.
We're gonna start an AwesomeCast room. It'll be great.
Yeah,
it'll be amazing. Well, guys, we have we have our good friends that have been supporting us. Speaking of 10 years, probably since Turntable went down the first time, our good friends at Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza, New York style, Yinzer Bade, Beachview, Carnegie, the East End, and brand new in the North Hills. Potter, was that you that found the picture of that, or was that somebody else that sent me that?
I think I want to say somebody else. I haven't seen a picture of it yet, and I know I don't think it's too far away from work whenever I actually go back into work. So lunch run.
One day when I have to have business lunch meetings with people from your office again, it'll be funny that I'm leaving my neighborhood with the Slice on Broadway to go have it in another neighborhood an hour away or 45 minutes away or half hour, whatever for. I don't know. It's been so long since I drove up that way. Well, one new cool new thing that's been happening, there's new boxes for Slice on Broadway. Rizz, you were talking about this on the Wrestling Mayhem show last week, and you did inspire me to make sure I took a picture of the boxes, and we're going to let you know a tip. If you get the box, there's this suggested uses for empty Slice boxes.
Yeah.
And here's your first one. Hang it on your wall to show your undying love for Slice. There you go. And I think we'll read one of these a week. If you want all of them,
I like it.
If you want to collect them all immediately and not take part and wait for this 6-part series on Slice on Broadway, go get yourself some Slice on Broadway, sliceonbroadway.com, get it delivered to your home. If you're in the Pittsburgh area, I'm sure it can get to you. And support our friends that have been supporting us for a good while. Can't wait for the We're Open Again pizza party. That's for sure. All right, what else do we have? Let's stay with the video games here for a moment, Rizz. I believe I have one at the top of the list. If you're
And I added one.
And you added one.
I had a very special one.
We'll get to that in a moment, but I'm sorry, Chilla isn't here. I actually put this in there mostly for him. Him and I are both partaking in the Minecraft Dungeons, and I'm not much of a Minecraft player, but I've been enjoying the Dungeons game. Again on Game Pass, Rizz.
Oh no, I've dabbled in the dungeons.
You've dabbled in the dungeons. That's something you get on the PC if you have that Game Pass. By the way, PC Game Pass is only $5, I think. I think it still is. So, like, if you want to get some of these games that are like a lot of them are cross-platform, that's a good option for you. If you got a decent PC, that'll run a lot of them. And I think it integrates with Steam now somehow. Yep. So, okay. So, but anyways, Minecraft Dungeons is getting an arcade edition. Whenever we go back to the arcades, but okay, they're getting ready for it. Hey, there's long development for that. No, it's a nice. This feels very. Oh, can I make this picture bigger? What? I picked the wrong article. It's a 4-player cabinet, and to that effect, it feels very Gauntlet to me. And Gauntlet was a great dungeon crawling 4-player arcade game that I just adored in the arcade.
When I first played Minecraft Dungeons, that was the first thing that came up.
Really?
Like when I first played this on stream, Rizz plays games. One of the people that is on my stream goes, "This is very Gauntlet-like. This is very," and I think they brought up Gauntlet. They brought up what was the other game they brought up? There was other games they brought up in this, but the one game that stuck to me was Gauntlet.
Well, it's an isometric dungeon crawler. There's 100 of these days, right? I mean, like sure. So it's
Diablo. It was Minecraft. Yes. Diablo.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I think that's more. I feel like that's more of a direct relationship than Gauntlet, because I mean even new basically if you look at the 3D Gauntlet like in the PlayStation 2 era, it more reminds you, like it feels like a precursor to what we know now for that was a post Diablo rendition of Gauntlet basically, but it's mostly the same concept for sure. So but yeah, it's amazing how many things start looking similar when they go 3D, isn't it, Rizz?
It's amazing.
Yes. Hey, so you got big news from the Nintendo world, speaking of a few moments ago.
Oh, Nintendo Land in Japan. Another reason why I want to go to Japan.
Rizz, we're gonna get the travel packages when we're up for it. When we feel like it's good to go, we're gonna go to Wrestle Kingdom, which is a great New Japan Pro Wrestling thing that I know I've wanted to go to, and we're going to damn Nintendo Land. Making this happen.
5 stars if it's in Tokyo Dome.
5 stars.
But it's opening next week.
Originally set for last summer, I believe.
Last summer was supposed to open, and then, this happened. But it looks amazing, and it looks like I really want to go there, and I really want to go there now. And also, I didn't know they plan on doing that in Hollywood too.
Oh, really?
It says Universal also plans to open Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios in Hollywood.
Nice.
Or Universal Studios Hollywood. Whatever.
Nice.
So, either way, road trip.
Hollywood is a lot easier to get to than Japan.
But also Japan, Sorg.
But also Japan. I mean, it'd be like, well, we're here. I mean, we're in the Mario homeland. Might as well. Yes.
It
So,
looks from the like I'm almost certain that's just the actual images.
oh yeah, yeah.
Like I just want to believe, like I go there and it looks that crisp, that clean. I can like do wall jumps off those walls.
Well, maybe not that.
No, maybe not that.
I mean, you could try, but you know, then you'll visit the first aid toad station.
Oh god, if there's like a
Better be a mushroom house.
yeah, if there's a mushroom house with a medic toad in there, I will flip.
And then you'll need a medic again.
Yeah, and then my head will explode because of Toad's voice. Just pointing it out there.
Oh, if they're like dressed up like Disney style, but they have to do the voice.
They have to do the voices. Like Wario just has to talk in a growly voice the entire time.
Oh no!
You know how miserable that would be?
Yeah, I don't know how the mascots usually do at Universal Studios, but that would be pretty fantastic. Oh boy! I was diving back into Video Game Historian, a great channel on YouTube, and I watched the like 45-minute Super Mario Bros. 3, basically a documentary that they did. You know, it's usually like I usually it's like, oh, I'm not gonna go more than like 10-15 minutes on these guys, but I was like, you know what? I gotta wait for this thing to process. I'm watching 45 minutes telling me how awesome Super Mario Bros. 3 was. So
I mean, but do you need to know that?
Well,
It's already fact.
Well, no. The idea, but there's a lot of background about like the development and things like that, and quotes, and there's a lot of backstory that I'm just like until like 40 minutes where like, and there was a Nintendo Power, and we saw something about it, and the wizard happened. I'm like, oh, this is where I come in. So. But no. Video Game Historian. Also, I've been enjoying, just as an aside to throw out there, Toy Galaxy, to learn the sordid histories of several definitely selling toys cartoons over the years, especially in the 80s and 90s. Fascinating stuff. They do a great bit. It was around the time Infinity War was about to come out, but they talk about the rights to Marvel and television/movie properties and toys, basically from the late 80s through the Marvel getting bought by Disney. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, and like all the stuff they tried.
It's kind of like, have you watched on Netflix that Toys That Made Us? The Toys That
Made Us is so good, and Movies That Made Us is their side series. Very, very good. I mean, that's the Netflix money version of what they're doing. But both of these are very, very good. Very, very good. All right, let's see what else we got here. Dave, you have another story I put in here. I was checking out the story, and I want you to guess which part of the story I was really, really interested in. I mean, the whole thing is interesting. I was really interested on the backstory here, but.
Okay, is this the background or the Mark Cuban one?
The Fitness Plus one.
Let's see here. You probably, I'm guessing, would be most interested on the shooting and how they tried to say when we shoot for a yoga, we use the studio for a yoga session, we have to light it and shoot it differently than what we do it for the other ones.
It was mostly, hold on, I can't find the picture now. There's a great picture in here that I just fawned over. Yes, this is where I get into production porn. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And I'm like watching these things on my iPhone after I read this article yesterday, and I'm watching like my workout this morning. I'm like, this is shot. I'm watching this on my small iPhone sitting on my treadmill, but these are done in like 4K. In 4K with all this technology. No, so I mean, it's a whole studio they have set up, and was it Santa Barbara? I think they say it usually at the beginning of the video. And they got all kinds of trainers, and they're not stopping. They're continuing to churn out new content every week. So
they're making it sure you definitely feel like you're getting your $10 a month worth. And like I said, the quality and the fact that one thing they do mention is that, because they do show kind of here's the robot camera operators we have. And here, oh yeah, so we need to now switch from this angle to this angle because we want to make sure people know how to do this exercise correctly from the top angle and from the side angle. So we have to make sure everything's switched correctly and lit correctly. And then, oh, we have 3 people here. So we have your main trainer, and we want to make sure we also have the other trainer who's doing a modified approach also in there. So you're not, you can always see all the trainers doing all the approaches. And having saying, oh, we select these trainers and we try to make sure that, well, this person's who are specialists in yoga, but we want to have them as our lead, but our secondary persons may be someone who's an expert on, cycling. So they're getting cross-pollination between the different types of exercises, which is also a nice little kind of behind the scenes on how they want all their team and creative processes to feel, which is a nice kind of behind the scenes pull. It's a nice little almost documentary of, oh, this is also how we get our exercising, the actual experts working together along with the people who are actually out in front.
Yeah. It feels like that, like the variety of just like people that I'm seeing on mindful cool down and treadmill, which is what I'm usually kind of living in. I'm building back up, so I'm kind of restarting my fitness plan after some issues last month. But still, it's like it's nice to kind of mix like what and get in with this, or like, hey, I know this one, but I'm going to do the walking track for now till I build myself up again. It's been great. And they talk a little bit about how, of course, we know this from talking about it before, but I love the on-screen interface and how dynamic that is. Because not only is it your countdown, not only is like, hey, we're going to do a super fast, push it as hard as you can run here, and a counter will come up for 30 seconds or a minute and a half or a minute 15 or something. And it's like, you got 10 seconds left, and you're going to watch it as it's happening, and the guy's telling you, and the thing will move. And then on top of that, you're getting your rings, and you're getting this burn bar to see how you compare to everybody else, and your calories and your heartbeat all on there.
Right.
Whether you're on a phone, an iPad, or the Apple TV, that just adds such a new dimension to it. And you're thinking and processing what's happening, what you're doing, and how it affects things, right? So
right. And it's just that, like I said, it's the little details. Like they even say, and this is again, this is why I like the behind the scenes. It's stories, because then you notice things when they're happening. You may not notice them. It's like, oh, when we want people to have a big push, that's when we'll put the heart rate monitor on there. It won't be on the screen most of the time. You'll have your little, if you're doing aerobic, you'll have your little progress bar to say if you're in the middle or, where you are compared to everyone else. It's like, oh, now we're really going to push it. And here's where your heart rate really is going to kick. And then they pop on the screen and say, here's your range of your heart rate that you've been doing. And here you are currently. And just let you know where things are. It's like,
so is that different across? Because in the treadmill and the cool downs that I do, I think like the heart rate's been persistent. If I recall.
Yeah, because when I tried to do like and I don't know if it's pronounced HIT or the
I think it's just HIT.
Yeah.
I think it can be either way. It can be HIIT, or I've heard some trainers do call it just straight up HIT. Like, because I know the one place I go to is actually just called HIT, like Pittsburgh HIT. But I definitely know I've definitely seen it go both ways.
But I know on those, they actually don't have the heart rate. They'll pop it up at certain times, and they'll also emphasize the range.
Yeah.
So it isn't just, oh, here's your heart rate now, but here's at the low point, and here's at the high point, and here's where you are right now. And same thing with like the dance workouts.
Right. So this is just to clarify, this is a backstage look. It's from menshealth.com. You can check that out. Of course, it'll be in the show notes as well. So there's some fun stuff. I am interested in Dave. You've of course been working from home for a long time, and I'm sure this isn't a situation you have to deal with, but got some context for that. T-Mobile is actually you, Rizz. You've been doing the same thing. T-Mobile has launched a 5G home internet plan, and the idea behind this, it feels like a year or two late. But
Yeah.
the idea behind it is we're all on Zoom, we're all at home, we're all doing the whatever, and maybe while the kids are home too doing Zoom, you got to do all your important business calls and Zooms and things like that. So your Comcast internet, which let's just say it's Comcast internet, because everybody else is doing it. You all share like a big neighborhood connection. If you don't know that with Comcast, you do not. I don't believe in most cases have a direct you to the internet connection. If everybody's on in the afternoon watching lots of Netflix at the same time, you will feel that in your home. That's why I don't like to have cable internet for my processes here at the studio. So the idea is everybody's going crazy with this. Your house is bogged down because of the internet. You don't have enough to get what you need done at work. So why don't you drop into, by the way, $35 a month plan that will give you a 5G modem, $37 a month unlimited mobile plan for business and a suite of virtual PBX. So on top of that, if you need a business phone that is now patched in, you will have that as at home, separate from your home internet network and communications, now working over the 5G system, which if you're a place where T-Mobile, in most cities, suburbs, you're probably going to be pretty good on T-Mobile. You're going to be doing pretty good on this situation. So, and of course, the question they ask on this is, your boss going to pay for this? Things like that. No, I don't want to sign up for your newsletter. .com that we're getting this information from. You guys, as work from homers for the last, that sounds wrong. Work from homers. That sounds like a very visual Simpsons reference. But you guys have been working from home for a good while. I don't know. Have you found these pinches? Have you experienced these? Or know others that have, perhaps? Does this seem like a kind of a, I see you shaking your head there, Rizz. You're like, no.
No,
it's also the kind of
all.
work you're doing, right? Like it's not necessarily.
It is the kind of work that we're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, nobody's pinched or anything like that. I haven't found this loophole until now.
Okay.
But see, my biggest problem with this is, I don't see my work pay. I don't want to say my boss directly because it's out of her budget. It would she would have to.
And we're saying hypothetically. We're saying hypothetically, not necessarily your boss, but a boss.
Right.
But the conversations.
Right. And honestly, because we actually had people who started to work from home 5-7 years ago.
Right.
For other reasons, and they were told, well, if you want to work from home, I know different now versus then, we expect you to make sure your internet's quick enough. And if you don't have quick enough internet, it's on you to pay for it.
That's now your responsibility.
That's not our responsibility as the company. It's your responsibility to make sure you have fast enough internet. And the thing is, I'm also on a call center. So my concern would be 5G is not necessarily the most reliable thing for keeping your speed up.
Yeah, it's more of like true 5G. To say you even have 5G in your neighborhood, which could also be questionable. So ideally, let's just say this is a 4G system, dedicated 4G system that you have. Right. Still, you're getting an unlimited plan for $37 a month. That's on paper. That's not bad.
No, that's not bad. Yeah. But then, like I said, maybe if you're in the right type of office where, they're willing to it's like, oh, and this, we're going to give you this, we're going to do this so you can work from home. But I think most people, when they're working from home, unfortunately are, oh, you're working from home. Good luck. If you need text,
it's a big handcuff. Like, it's just like, okay, bye.
Yeah. Well, and when I see the thing here about they're also including a virtual, the PBX phone system and collaboration tools from Dialpad. If you're a small enough company, I can see where that'd be useful. But if you're a larger company, more than, I don't know, 20, 30 maybe even 50 people.
Yeah.
You have your own setup that you're paying someone else for.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, oh, we're going to give you this. You're like, oh, that's nice. We're not going to use that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's almost like Comcast saying, oh, by the way, when you get Comcast, you can have a home phone for only $5 more. I'm like, I haven't had a home phone in 10 years. Why would I want one?
Do you think this is more for like a mid-range company that's looking to expand and serve like this? Like, I mean, this or it has to be a company that
Smaller.
Is small. Even you think is
I think smaller.
This is a small business. We have some office people. Like
Yeah.
let's say if here at Sorgatron Media we were an office of like 5 people that are now scattered to the winds and have to work from home doing our media. Well, if we're talking about our media work, 5G's not going to cut it. So first of all, but doing our work, let's say. So
Right.
so for somebody on my scale, this would be a relatively business affordable solution, not
Right.
necessarily for Google. Say, I mean, it could be for a lot of Google people, to be honest. You know, but I think ideally they're getting in the. There's a quote at the end. I don't know. They have his name. It's T-Mobile CEO says the world's not getting back. 87% of U.S. business leaders expect to see some of their employees working from home 3 or more days a week. So that is the idea across the board that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I've heard personally some business companies say we're getting back because that's how we do our businesses face to face. You know, like which that's that business. That it's not everybody. Google's already said nobody has to come back. A bunch of those big businesses that are really kind of setting the tone said you don't have to go back. I don't know what they're going to do with the giant Salesforce tower in the middle of San Francisco, getting a middle finger to the rest of the world.
Yeah, that's the other thing. When we get higher up, and you're talking not now when it's really hard to have a 10,000 or 3,000 people working in an office, but you get to okay, we're all vaccinated, we're all good. We're in September or October, this year, where enough people are vaccinated, enough people are safe. Oh, we're paying how many millions of dollars a month for a long-term lease that we can't get out for this tower?
Yeah.
You guys are all coming back.
Yeah.
Because we can't get out of this.
Yeah. But then when when that lease is up on your golden tower and everybody wants to work from home, and you start doing the balance sheet on that, and you're like, okay, what is it per square foot that we need per person versus what is this plan from T-Mobile we can give everybody so they can work from home reliably? Yeah, ideally, right? I'm not saying T-Mobile is the right answer for everybody. So now, like, I think that's what's going to happen, especially as some of these businesses grow and everything.
Well, like I said, I can definitely see a smaller mid-size company. This would be a good, stepping a toe. But if you're a larger company, even mine, which is the employees are 300 to 400 employees. If I'm sure they could go to Verizon and say, by the way, we want to have 5G hotspots for people, and we have a special deal, which they may get better off than this. And if you're a larger company in the thousands, then you can really go to your corporate cell phone provider and say, hey, by the way, we want to stay with you. You want our thousands of seats. How about making us a special deal?
Right. And even looking at this, even the line before this in this PC Mag article, it says, think about this also. We're talking about offering a dedicated secondary internet connection for home business use, right? Which also is admitting primary internet for a lot of these people is not sufficient enough to do these tasks.
Exactly. Yeah.
Looking at you, Comcast. Listen, we have this we're having this conversation about what are the things. I mean, we're like, hey, do we need to be in the city? Do we need to have a studio? Like our real conversations we've had over the last year, as nobody's been in the studio, right? For pandemic reasons, and we're like, is this going to last 5 years? Maybe we don't, and we have more answers now. But to make those decisions, of course, on Patreon, you can see how that answer went. According to my recordings when I forgot I was recording. I'll release that after Thursday maybe. I think I embargo my own Patreon. But anyways, but I would, the serious conversations are, between looking at things and family and talking about, okay, do we stay in the city or do we move out with my mother to help her out? And then can I do most of the things, look like what you guys are here remotely every week, right? To me, I don't think this is it, because you're not, we got like two bars out there, but she's got Comcast cable, but I can't do most of my business. I'm looking to the sky. I'm looking to Starlink, because they promise what I pay for here in the city, in my neighborhood. And now I can do it anywhere. So, it opens things up from that too. I can put my office in a neighborhood that's more conducive to what our needs, that maybe doesn't have FiOS in it, which is literally a thing that's come up in potential things that we've been looking at, in consideration, long-term considerations, of course. But but you tell me I put a dish up and I can do this reliably.
Mm-hmm.
You just open this up, Rizz. I'm getting a camper. I'm putting a Starlink dish on it, and we're doing Sorg Across America away, completely connected.
Well, that's actually a pretty cool idea, Sorg. And it has been done before, but you can do it again.
I can do. Well, we did it again, but also we did it. Oh God, I hope they have internet at this campsite.
But then you don't have to worry about that with the
Skylink.
Yeah,
exactly.
I must call it Starlight, but with
Starlight, Star Bright. Will I have internet tonight? It's all right, Rizz. It's all right. It's almost the end of the show, and then we can get real wild. Any other stories, real quick, that you guys are interested in that we should pull up here? Dave, I know you had another one hanging out in there, right?
Not really, but there is one I want to make a quick comment on.
Sure.
And that's about Apple letting you automatically transfer your iCloud photo library to Google Photos.
Handy if you're converting.
Right. But I would also say, if you wanted to do this and not have to deal with that, and let's say you don't have data caps at your house or whatever internet you're using, just download the Google Photos app on your iPhone and have it set up to sync automatically.
So that's the long tail solution, right? But so here, let me review this, and this is actually our tip of the week. So they opened this thing up, and this is according to The Verge. Let's say they can automatically transfer your iCloud library. This is I don't want to download my photos and wait for it, and I know I've been having trouble syncing from my phone to photos from time to time, but you can go in there under data and privacy. If you go to your account on Apple, so under data privacy, you'll see transfer a copy of your photos and videos, and choose where you'd like to transfer your photos. One of the drop-downs will be Google Photos. Obviously, you'll roll into that. Now, also caution, and it's really funky when I'm syncing as well. You may have issues with sending over like the live photos may not function. I know they kind of, when I download them from Google Photos now, it's interesting because they separate into hey, here's a 4-second .mov, and then here's your actual photo, which is really what live photos are. They put them in a package, right. The Apple way, right? So I think the idea is, I'm moving. I need to move these over. It's not about like putting this thing on my phone and I walk around for another month. It's about I need to get out of this thing in about 3 or 4 days, because it says it'll take several days for it to process.
Right.
Let me see if it has. Let me see where that was. It says it'll take 3 days to a week for this process to happen, but that's my phone broke. I need to go get a Samsung, because that's what the Boost 3 doors down is offering me right now, and I'm going to go with that for whatever reason. I think that's your answer for that. And this is your photos are in the iCloud, correct? Like, this is not the photos sitting on your phone, not connected to the cloud.
Right, but I would say this, that I have all my photos in iCloud and on my phone.
Yes.
So, and a few years ago, I downloaded Google Photos, and and I have it syncing just now. Well, now once you have the initial sync, now it's, I take a photo and then it uploads to Google Photos to their cloud. So I have my, my photos here, and then I have my photos in iCloud, and I have my photos in Google Photos through their app on my phone and through the website for both, because you can do the iCloud, iCloud.com, I think it is, and get to your photos that way, and Google Photos on the web. But doing it that way, your live photos are just live photos on the Google Photos app. So you can just simply, I open up Google Photos and I can look at the last, how many ever pictures taken, and they automatically shows kind of a GIF movie, but you can just kind of pause that and just have it as the photo. So if you're willing to download the app and just, and if I remember correctly, it didn't take that long for everything to upload and download. So if it's going to take you 3 days anyway, I would use the app. And honestly, the other reason I keep the app on here is I have photos from before I got the iPhone, or if I take photos from another camera, or the few times I actually use a non-iPhone camera, I'll upload it to Google Photos, and I'll use their search or use something through the Google Photos app occasionally to search and find for things, because I like their search better than the Apple. So I mean, unless you're someone who's like, I want Google, but I don't want to download this app and have it upload and download, like I said, using up if you have a data cap, and you don't want to do that. But other than that, I'm having a hard time seeing, other than saying sync and then walk away, having that little convenience. But to me, it's almost just as easy to download the Google Photos app and let it do its thing in the background. I mean, I
think there's another option. Listen, I really think there's some people that is a non-starter for them, just for the process. Too many things. You're like, I haven't started this. Oh, I don't understand this. Oh, I need to move it to Google, so I have an Android. Do this one thing. I really think it's because and we have to remember this. Like, that's easy enough for you and me, Dave.
Right.
Is it easy enough for you to explain to your mom, your grandma, your aunt, your coworker, right? So and I think, remember, Apple's doing a lot of things to make sure you have no lock-in. And also consider, what if this phone is dead and I need to buy that Samsung Android phone, right?
I can see that. I can see definitely.
You're done.
Yeah.
You're done. Yeah. But you put everything in the cloud like you're supposed to. Great. How do I get it out? You can't go to the website and download it.
Already gone. Bye.
Goodbye. Buy another Apple phone to get all your photos back.
Buy the new Apple phone.
Now you're not locked in. It's them doing takeout like Google does. So, but yeah, no, I think it's good that they're giving options. So,
no. I'm saying it's definitely a good option. I'm never against options.
Yes.
I could just see that it's an option that duplicate. Now I could, like I said, it's an option that duplicates something that already exists. So,
right.
If someone came to me asking me saying, "Hey, I have this," I would say, "Well, have you tried downloading the Google Photos app?"
Right.
And letting it do it that way. Yeah. But I can understand if it's like, I have everything in my iCloud and my phone died and I don't have an iPad.
Yeah.
So you can't do that, or I don't have another way to get to it.
Consider this is the option where it's like everything is dead.
Yeah.
I need to go to Android. I'm walking into you, AT&T store, Apple store, whatever, saying I need to get my iCloud photos off of you. Yeah. And they say, okay, go here, do this. We'll do it on a computer over here. You'll have those all in your Android phone in 3 to 7 days.
Yeah.
Good to go. Sure. Yeah. So, all right. By the way, if I was looking to do this, I'm looking at my phone, and according to my Photos app, I have photos dating back to September. Well, it says September 2009, but I think that's just a couple of them. But generally, June 19th, 2012, if I'm looking at this right. Yeah. June 2012 is the majority of my pictures starting off. So I think I'd be nearing that week. So that's wild that I can just pull this up and look at what I was doing 7 years ago. Apparently, I was doing podcasting and filming and wrestling. Huh.
Huh.
Not much has changed. Dave Podnar, Prof Pod on your social medias. iPhone.
Since you said you had issues with the lower third,
You remind me.
I made my own.
Welcome to make your own lower third. No, I was just coming back, and we booked you guys real quick, and I was like, oh wait, I'm not used to the giving myself the lead time to remake some. Look, I got mine in here. There we go. It's back. There it is. I forgot I loaded them in here too. Workflows, guys. But you guys are talking about all things iPhone and iPhone and photography related.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Me, Gray McMillan, talking, and we're only about iPhone photography. And recently we had on a guest, and actually, hold on, let me do this. Talking about her book she just released, iPhone photography for the iPhone photojournalism techniques.
Mm-hmm.
So our last thing was about interviewing her about her book and how you can use your iPhone if you're looking into getting into a little bit of photojournalism.
There you go.
Really great guest we had her on.
Go subscribe to that. Rizz, he does something over on Twitch.
I just play video games. I'm like, oh, you guys have cool things, and I'm like, I just play video games on my Twitch.
Yeah, but people watch you do it.
They watch me do it. Old games like Dragon Age, Origins, for my first time playing through that game, and newer games like Retromania, which I think I got Sorg hooked on now.
Yeah, you maybe buy a full price video game, Rizz.
I know.
Shame on you. I don't do that too often.
It's worth it though.
Yeah, it is. It is. I don't know.
Also,
I don't know. I don't know for that price. I would recommend most to not pay the full price. Wait for it to come down a little bit. But it's fun. It's fun.
And also, if I'm not streaming, I'm probably going to be on somebody else's Twitch page, and it'll probably be during when I work, because there's 24/7 Iron Chef that's on right now, and Critter Vision, which I think we've discussed before. It's like, I think it's from the same people who did the chicken coop one that was on there. I had you guys look at before. And it's just this weird 24/7 night vision camera of just a feeding area for different critters. And I'm like, I'm just going to put that on the background while I'm working. It'll be fine. What's the worst that can happen? I mean, I already know that 90% of the Iron Chefs are going to win the Iron Chef tournament. And, just a nice little palate cleanser for the stuff that happens that day. So, just that's what I do that's what I do, Sorg.
Yeah. Thank you for your service, Rizz. And, of course, both contribute to the Wrestling Mayhem show. That comes on at 9 p.m. on your Tuesday nights. Never heard of it. There you go. Please go check out everything on AwesomeCast.com. I'm at Sorgatron on the Twitters. God, what am I doing? I don't
know.
What am I doing, man? I don't know what to plug because I'm doing the thing that I usually plug. So
you plugged Mayhem Show. That's one thing.
That's good thing. That's a good thing.
You plugged Rizz Plays Games, which is a good thing.
That's right. Okay.
You already did the
I would say follow my social media over the next couple of months because I'm going to start figuring out how to safely travel across America again. Potentially. I'm waiting for the go on it. But
I'm telling you should bring friends.
Bring friends? Okay, no, we're not. No. This isn't the RV idea. Again, this is I might have to get on the plane with a camera.
Oh.
So.
Ooh.
Yeah, don't bring friends.
And fly to the desert. Potentially. So. Thank you everybody that's been chiming in and everything, part of the Patreon, of course. AwesomeCast.com. Check out past stuff. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page and our Instagram, and over on I'm over Sorgatron on TikTok. We've been sharing a lot of clips from the show in hopes that some people will become new fans of the show, of course. But if you see any of that stuff, any of the clips that you like over there, please share those as well, and we do appreciate that. and helping get the word out for the show with that too. Thank you everybody for joining us. You have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.